week if I can get somebody here, or we can, is because it worked out really well where you were gone with.
Paul and Steve, they roll the dice. Fantasy dreams ain't always nice. Crunching numbers late at night, seeking that glory shining bright. Touchdowns, fantasies on their mind. Draft day heroes hard to find. In the trenches week by week, every matchup fierce and sleek. That damn fantasy show, where the gritted-eyed dreams get sown. Passion, fire, blood, and bone, chasing titles, claim the throne.
Welcome in, Paul Catalina and Steve May here with you on That Damn Fantasy Show. Steve's been gone for a couple weeks.
Back.
He had the snake AIDS.
So I'm not really sure if I tested positive.
Yeah, for COVID, not for snake AIDS.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think you're banging snakes.
Not anymore. But I tested positive, had minor symptoms. I'm not convinced I actually had it, but because I did test it positive, I didn't want to give it to anyone here, so I laid out that week. And then last week, I was in literally beautiful Madison, Wisconsin, where it was 50 degrees each morning and a high of 74. I gorged myself on cheese curds.
Overrated.
And delicious beer.
Look,
are great.
the beer in Wisconsin's great.
Yeah.
Cheese curds were oversold to me.
It depends on the breading. So.
Yeah, I had them in like 3 different, everywhere we went, we had cheese curds. And I'll just tell you, this is me repositioning myself to be more comfortable on the set. I just thought, they were fine. They were fine. And, it's the breading, and they have dipping sauces and all that. But it was sold to me like this life-changing food.
Right.
And it was a nice little snack. But it wasn't anything
Yeah,
they were like, oh, you got to have the cheese curds. You got to have them. And I was like,
If I have a plate of traditional mozzarella sticks in front of me and cheese curds, I'm going with the mozzarella sticks.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, the cheese by itself in Wisconsin, second to none.
Yeah.
Honestly, France can suck it. We do it better in America and Wisconsin. They do a great job there. So, the last couple weeks have been interesting in our league. I did not get to have you here last week when I pulled off the most ridiculously improbable win in my history in fantasy football, with 2 quarterbacks that were nothing.
Who'd you start?
Here, I'll go back and tell you, Steve.
Was it Huntley?
No, it wasn't Huntley. But I had Devin A. get hurt in the first, his first carry, essentially, and out for the next couple weeks. So I need to scroll back. How do we go back in the weeks here?
Is that week 5?
Yes. Okay, here we go. Yes, I had.
Oh, yeah, you won by.
I won by less than a point, or a point and 1.3 points.
Yes.
I beat Brent Bankston.
Brent.
Yeah. I had Andy Dalton at 3.74. I had Emmanuel Wilson at 2.5. I had Devin Achane at 2.7. I had Dalton Kincaid at 6.4 and Jacoby Brissett at 7.4, and won the game on the strength of Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Rashid Shaheed, T. Higgins, and Camry Fairbairn, who, by the way, 17 points, scored more than all those other players combined, or just as much as they did. So there you go.
Yeah.
But that was a very improbable week. Of course, I went back to my losing ways this week, but even still, I positioned myself in this league where if Tua and Christian McCaffrey get healthy, I might be able to make a run into the playoffs, but I'm grasping at straws at this point.
I think McCaffrey, they're saying
November,
couple more weeks. Yeah.
Couple more weeks. Tua, Mike McDaniel says he expects him to play again this season. So, please.
If you tread water for a little bit, Because you're at 5-7. Your point total is a little low, which could hurt you later. But yeah, I'm in sixth place. I had the highest points this week, so I had a good week.
But I think my points will go up.
Yes.
Should I get I'm not making the playoffs if they don't come back.
Right.
Like eventually it'll unless I pick up somebody or one of my rookies pops, that's not going to happen. Like I need injuries to happen that to this point in the season haven't happened yet in the league to really go.
Right.
But the other problem is I have to use waivers every single week, so I'm never going to have the first pick ever.
Yes.
Because I have to use them every week. So my hope is to be in the middle of waivers because it's a week where everybody else has to use them. So I absolutely have to. So this is, most people would not be having fun with this. I am having fun with it because it's a challenge, Steve.
Yeah.
This is pushing me to my, to the limits of my expertise.
Well, and that's where you listen to people and you try to find, some sneaky waiver pickup. What's interesting, I don't know if you've looked at the bye weeks coming up.
Yeah.
So this week, there's 2 teams. Next week, there's no teams on a bye. Mm-hmm. Then we got a couple weeks coming up where there's 6 teams. Week 13, nobody on a bye. So for our league, week 14 is the last regular season week. Mm-hmm. That's one of the weeks where there's 6 teams that are going to be off.
Yeah.
So a team like yourself, if you kind of hanging in there, that may be a week where the people above you kind of get screwed with the bye weeks and you're right there.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Yeah.
That's my goal. That's where I have to, this is guerrilla warfare now. I'm in the trees. I'm around. I'm not advancing on the battlefront.
Yeah.
I'm not a red coat. Right now I'm in the woods, right? So, yeah, that's where it is. But, Steve, how have the last couple weeks gone for you? By the way, also came in second in our DraftKings League last week and won it this week. So
I came in second this week.
Yeah.
So that was good to finally be in the money.
Yeah.
Let me talk about Scott Fish Bowl a little bit because I'm very proud about how I'm doing. So this week, when they set the leagues up, there are fantasy experts from all. Like I'm in a league with Michael Fabiano I think he's from Fox and the NFL Network. He's in first place. Also in my league is a member of the 2011 Dallas Mavericks championship team, Brendan Haywood.
Oh, okay.
Is in my league. And he and I went head-to-head this week, and I destroyed him. Mm-hmm. So we're getting ready to have the cutoff there pretty soon, and I'm definitely in there, so I'm doing good. I did good in our league this week. So some of the player I was really high on going into this year, Anthony Richardson, has not really panned out. The Colt receivers do better when Joe Flacco is the quarterback. So I was actually excited this week because I do have Pittman. I got Downs when Flacco was announced as a starter. So Richardson, I got him on a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And he's been hurt, and even when he's been in there, it's been inconsistent. So he's been one disappointment, obviously. The guy I tried to draft early on, Bucky Irving, he's the Buccaneer running back now, and he's a stud.
Yeah.
So if you got him, which I got him on just about every team, that's been great. Just having him in there as a starter now. So.
Well, I think it's going to send Rashad White, especially after Sean Tucker this week.
Yeah.
Rashad White is going to be essentially in passing situations only, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Tucker is a hot waiver pickup this week. I'm not sold. I still think they want Rashad White being there.
Well, he's still hurt. So.
Yes. But it's definitely the Bucky Irving show. Tyrone Tracy's looked good for the Giants. Who knows when Singletary's coming back?
Here's the thing. I'm gonna do something that you and I as Cowboy fans will never do, should never do, but maybe wouldn't. This is to the Giants. I'm gonna look right into the camera right here. When Devin Singletary comes back, don't put him in the game. play Tyrone Tracy and Eric Gray, and then play Devin in case one of those guys get hurt.
Yep.
The future is now. Like, just go with the young guys. It's a young man's game. Devin Singletary was a guy that you picked up if Tyrone Tracy didn't work out. Guess what? He's good. You don't need Devin Singletary anymore.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Every single game, he's been better than Devin Singletary was for them.
Oh, yeah.
So the proof's in the pudding. I think it's going to be – Brian Daboll's not stupid.
Yeah.
Like, now sometimes you get loyal to veterans who are good in the locker room. Put Tyrone Tracy in the game.
Yeah.
Sorry about the flies. We've been besieged. We had the exterminator here today. So,
Nice.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, right back at me.
And he's aggressive. So.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, I'm glad he's back. I got him on a lot of teams. So overall, I'm pretty happy. I'm in a dynasty league where I did get Tracy. I got Gray. So I've been using them, but then long term, because you keep whoever you got in the dynasty, I'm real excited about that moving forward. So
All right, I have two. What the hell was that this week? And it starts with the Colts and their bull crap reporting of receiver injuries. Of, oh my God, Michael Pittman's like he could be dead. We don't know. Like his back, it could just pop out of his body. We don't know. He's got a severe back injury. Then he played.
Yep.
Then Josh Downs banged up. Didn't practice that much this week. Then he plays. So I played Alec Pierce in a couple of leagues, like thinking this is going to happen. Game starts, and it's like, oh no, look, there they are, running around. The hell was that, Colts? And the second and my final hell has that goes to the Dallas Football Cowboys and their performance against the Lions, which I won't even yell, what the hell was that? I will say, what the hell was that, man? That was awful all the way around.
Yeah.
And if you heard Jerry on the Fan this morning, he is if he's not at rock bottom, like he's real close. I
heard that.
Yeah.
He getting very testy, and he's got to the point where he doesn't want to be questioned.
Yeah.
Which it's not a good situation. But the Cowboys would definitely be on mine. The Lions and Cowboys were, for DFS purposes, for your regular team, you had everybody in there that you could, because that supposedly was going to be a shootout. Well, it was on one side. And then who was I thinking of?
I won in DFS because golf was fine, but the three people that drove me to the win were Montgomery, McLaurin, and Jay Flowers in my lineup. So,
yeah, who am I thinking of? The Commanders game. Commanders and the Washington running back situation was bad.
Well, Brian Robinson was out.
He was out. Eckler, they were trying to run Eckler in with on goal line. Not good. The Patriots running back situation is awful. Stevenson was out. You put Gibson in there. Horrible. The one bright spot for the Patriots, Drake May looked okay.
Yeah.
And then one of my waiver pickups this week is Demario Douglas. He got 9 targets. He's got 9 targets the last couple games actually. Yeah. But the running back situations with these teams that are not doing great, you got to try to avoid them. I ended up with Stevenson on a lot of rosters because they're going to be a running team. That's what Mayo's going to want to do. They don't got anybody else. And it's just been horrible.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the big news of today and this week in the NFL is that Davante Adams now reunited with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
Yep.
This is put it all on him. Like he's built this team. He's essentially the general manager.
He's got everything
he's asked for. Like he asked for Tyron Smith, who committed a holding penalty on the touchdown last night. And I love Tyron, but it's the end for him. It is.
Yeah.
And he's been healthy so far, but
it's coming.
It's coming.
Yes.
It's coming with him. So that means they're going to have a different left tackle. So they're not functional. They have a lot of great, like Breece Hall's one of the best in the league. Garrett Wilson is amazing. He's so good. Davante Adams is going to help them out. Alan Lazard, great. Tyler Conklin's played well, So they have weapons. Braylon Allen at the goal line, Like he's your touchdown hawk, right? And you've got all that going for you. The biggest problem is Aaron Rodgers. Now, he's got everything he wants. Davante Adams is not going to have the kind of target share because of Wilson that he did before with Aaron Rodgers, but it's a way better situation for him. So he's a plus now, right?
I think Rodgers will probably try to do too much to Adams initially, which could upset Wilson. So basically, you've had Wilson, Lazard, and Mike Williams. Mike Williams was put on the trade block today. So you're going to have Adams, Wilson, and Lazard, which is outstanding. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic there to see how that works out. Another trade, Amari Cooper with the Buffalo.
Yes, that's one
huge.
I like. Well, look, Amari Cooper and all the Browns' offensive players, their spirit is broken.
Yes,
it is broken.
Yep.
If you just took a poll of who should be the quarterback on this team, of the 53 active players, 53 of them, including Deshaun Watson, would probably vote Jameis Winston.
Yes.
Like, I don't think Deshaun Watson's heart is in this anymore.
No, we've talked about that.
We talked about it. Like, it's clear. Here's the thing. He's a creep.
Yep.
He's a proven creep. There's other creepy things out there. So I don't give a crap if his heart's not in it. This feels to me like Jimmy Haslam is saying, no, I guarantee this guy, like, his fully guaranteed.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're going to play him until, and I'm sure, like, part of it's hoping, like, man, I really hope this other thing is true so I can cut him and, like, recoup this money.
Yeah.
But they're in a pickle. They need to bench him. They have good players. Like, they do. Like, Nick Chubb's coming back. They've got two really good tight ends, in my opinion.
Yep.
Jerry Jeudy's a good wide receiver. They've drafted some wide receivers, traded for, that are all talented enough. But Deshaun Watson's the second worst quarterback in the league right now.
Yes.
And he's the most guaranteed money of anybody, fully guaranteed contract. So Amari Cooper wasn't playing well. And I think it was because, and I know Amari a little bit from covering the Cowboys. I've had the chance to talk to him on many occasions. He is someone who he's very empathetic, so his emotions ride with everyone's, right? So, like, if the team's down, Amari's, like, maybe down a little bit higher. If the team's up, Amari's even up higher than them.
Yep.
So he needs to be in a situation that's bright and fun and all of that. So he is getting an upgrade at quarterback, moving to Josh Allen, who, is in the, like, number one is Mahomes. Like, that's the number one quarterback in the league, and we can debate who the number two is, but Josh Allen's in that conversation.
Oh, sure. I think he is number two.
Yeah. So he's there, and here's the thing. They've got a bunch of, like, they've got a rookie in Keon Coleman who's probably going to be a number one day. You've seen flashes of it, but he's not ready yet.
No, they didn't have a number one receiver.
They didn't have a number one receiver. They have Curtis Samuel, who is a great, like, slot kind of guy.
Yeah.
A gadget guy, and they have Shakir, who's really fast and really athletic, but they need a dog, and that's what Amari Cooper can bring them for the rest of this year, and then they can kind of refocus on that next year, but that's what they were missing. I say Amari Cooper is going to help all your Bills players across the board.
Yeah.
It's going to help James Cook. It's going to help Ray Davis if he's in there, if James Cook injury lingers. It's going to help Kincaid. It's going to help Coleman. And if you have to, in a deeper league, play a guy like Samuel on a bye week, you might pick a spot where they're playing a weak defense, and Curtis Samuel might get you 15 points on any given
I think
week.
the Cooper trade could have more of an impact than Adams this year, just for that team and, like you said, for the other players. So I thought it was a great move. I think the Browns probably aren't done dealing. I think they would like to move some pieces and recoup some of the Watson collateral. So, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is. By the way, you see the markers pop up on the screen here. That is because these damn gnats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, land on the screen. It's a touch screen, and so it goes.
Okay.
So, little fun thing there. So, okay, Steve, let's get into the starts and sits for the week.
Let me do some waiver pickups real quick.
Yeah. Here, hold on. I'm gonna get in and see what I can do.
Tyler
in real
Algier
time.
is getting about 40% of the work in Atlanta. Bijan Robinson is not the workhorse running back that everybody thought he might be. So Algier is worth picking up if you have a chance. Bigsby.
Guess what, brother? Already got him.
Bigsby from Jacksonville. Looks like ETN will probably be out this week. It's another London trip for them. But that team's kind of a mess. But Bigsby, I think, has a little more extra juice right now. He's available. He's out there in some leagues. Ray Davis, who you mentioned from Buffalo. If James Cook. I thought it might be, was it Tyson Johnson?
Yeah.
So I made a wrong move there. It was clearly Ray Davis. We already mentioned Tracy from the Giants. Vidal from the Chargers. Gus Edwards has been put on the IR. So you got J.K. Dobbins doing great, but Vidal, however you pronounce it,
Vidal
was great in the passing game. You got Garendo, San Francisco. Mason has the sprained ACL. Not sure how much time he's going to miss, if any. Garendo looked great in garbage time when he came out there, so Garendo is a hot pick at this point. Receivers, I mentioned Demario Douglas for the Patriots. He is the number one receiver there right now. They're going to keep going forward with Drake May. Looks like a good combo. Josh Downs is available in like 50% of leagues, surprisingly. He's almost the number one receiver there, especially when Flacco is playing. So pick up Josh Downs. Romeo Dobbs looked better with the Packers. He's available. And we already talked about Amari Cooper. Someone might be willing to trade there. Tight ends, we had a Mark Andrews sighting. He had a good game, which is good to see finally from him because he was drafted as a top 5 tight end. Evan Ingram looked great for Jacksonville. So those would be my waiver pickups. And then looking at the games, there's 2 games that have the same highest over-under. Which 2 games do you think those might be? One is very surprising.
Let's see. Who does Washington play this week?
They play the Panthers.
Is that one's probably not?
It is.
It is. Okay, yeah.
51.5.
Yeah.
The Commanders are favored, I think, by 7.5 or 8.
I think that game's going to be 35-16.
But
so yeah,
they're going to throw it. Dalton's done okay.
I dropped him.
Did you?
I'm not riding that way.
Yeah,
I'd rather.
yeah.
I have Daniel Jones now. That's what I'm doing. I also have, by the way, in the league, Aiden O'Connell and Spencer Rattler, who will rotate on and off depending on the matchup. Now, Spencer Rattler this week, they're playing on Thursday.
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed probably out. Chris Olave's probably out. They have not said on either one of them yet, but they both didn't practice today, which is Tuesday. So I'm not playing Spencer Rattler this week. Now, next week, if he's still in, I might give it a go because I do think he can put up some numbers.
It's going to be a tight end game. It's going to be a Kamara game. It's probably going to be a Jamal Williams game.
Yeah.
Seahawks versus so Panthers, Commanders, get the Commanders in your lineup, obviously, DFS and regular. Seahawks versus Falcons is the other 51.5 point total.
Oh, yeah. No, I buy it. Yeah. I buy it.
The one I'm high on, Lions versus Vikings.
Yeah.
That should be a great game. We thought that was Lions and Cowboys, but I think this will.
Ty Chandler a pickup there, too, because Aaron Jones is a bit banged up. So
Sam Darnold's been doing great. We'll see how he does against the Lions. Lions lost Hutchinson, so their pass rush won't be as formidable. Which game is the lowest?
The Chargers?
No. We've been talking about one of the players. Jets and Steelers.
Oh, Jets and Steelers, yeah.
It's 38.5.
Yeah, no, I buy that, yeah.
So
both good defenses. And
Russell Wilson may be QB1 this week. He's taking first-team reps. I don't know
what that means.
If you're desperate, well, it's another waiver pickup.
Yeah.
If you're in a super flex.
Not available in our league, by the way. So
whoever had him has been holding on to him. I don't know who had him, but plug him in there. I mean, they got weapons, and the Jets' defense is supposed to be good, but they didn't. Davis ran all over him.
Yeah. So the move I made, one of the moves I've made in our league, which is always there are several.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Wilson and the Packers is not really to me a thing anymore. So I had him. I'm trying to get rid of him, but I'm going to drop Keon Coleman and get Demario Douglas if I can.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Keon Coleman, if we were a...
Where you at on the waiver list? You are 11th.
Yeah, so...
God, the Nats.
One of these things might happen. I mean, I have to make...
I'm 10.
I have to make like 5 different claims every week. Yep. So... I'm sure somebody's going to pick up Demario Douglas before me.
The trends in sleeper, it's always good to look at, see what other people are picking up. We already mentioned Sean Tucker, Tampa. I'm not sold on that one. Dearness Johnson.
I'm not sold on that one either.
Nope. We mentioned New Orleans right now.
Bub
Means. Not sure on that one. And then we've talked about Ingram, Dobbs, Lazard, still out there, and those are the main pickups there. In our league, there's nobody available. Tyler Huntley is available. Will Levis is available for quarterbacks. Who does have Russell Wilson? I'm curious who's been patient and holding on.
John Hall.
John. Okay.
Yes,
interesting.
He does. So,
running backs. P. Ryan's out there. He was cut. Garendo is out there. I'm sure someone's going to make a move. On him. I've heard Gainwell's name mentioned in Philly. Douglas is out there. Watson. Gabe Davis had 2 touchdowns this past week in garbage time. So when the leagues are set up, like when I set mine up, I try to make sure that our benches aren't too huge so that there is a little meat left on the waiver. In the 16-team league I'm in, our bench is only 5 deep.
Yeah.
Because if you went 7 or 8 on that bench,
nothing.
be nothing out there, and you'd be drafting the water boy to sit on your bench. So, put your picks in tonight. And
I'm in 2 12s at like one league that was 12 for a long time, and then we lost and it was like it was harder. We were down to like 8 for a while. I said let's get up to 10 because an 8-team fantasy league is not hard.
Yeah, it's too loaded.
It's too loaded.
Yeah.
Basically, you have to make everybody make the playoffs so that it's one of those things where it's like you have to do European soccer rules where let's see who Let's just see who's at the top of the table at the end of this thing. God, these things are just ridiculous.
Attack of the Nats is the name of this
It's ridiculous.
episode.
It's been for days.
Did
Garrett
somebody
is
leave some food out or something?
No. I think it's because the apartment's above us. Something happened when these things get in the pipes in these buildings. It's just no. We did not. Garrett, confirm. Get on the mic.
Yes.
We are very especially you and I,
Clean.
Correct.
are very clean around
Very
here.
clean. Literally on Friday, we scrubbed not me. You scrubbed out the trash can in hopes of letting it, the weekend air out. When I came in on Monday, it was absolutely god awful.
These are kamikaze gnats. I mean,
Yes,
they're
they're
diving in and going.
Well, now part of the thing I think it's gotten a little bit worse today because we did spray for them.
Yeah.
So now their home is poisoned, so they're trying to run out. My exterminator Steven came here, and he's fantastic. Rostec. If you're here in Waco, Rostec Pest Control. I'm just going to give him a free plug. He's a great friend of mine. But Steven, we had a problem at our house because we'd had some plumbing disaster. I told you about it. Don't need to get into it. But we had a water bug issue after that, which they're big and disgusting and essentially cockroaches. And I have the cleanest wife in the world. Seriously, our place is so clean. So he said, listen, it's good that she's not here because I'm going to spray them with this stuff. And for the next hour, you're going to sit here in the living room and stomp them as they come out. And it was true. For an hour, they were just like, holy shit, what is going on? Save yourselves. So I think that's what's going on with these gnats. I hope that's what's going on with these gnats, but we'll get rid of them. It just takes some work. But I have a feeling, God, that was right in my eye. Right in my eye. These gnats are dicks, man. They are just dicks. So anyway, but if you have any questions, concerns, anything, send text commish at Paul Catalina.
Real quick, we talked about, so I was offered a trade in one of my main leagues.
Oh, yes, I know. Let's talk about this.
I was offered a trade to full point PPR, and someone offered me CeeDee Lamb, one up for Davante Adams. It surprised me when I first saw it. I almost couldn't hit accept fast enough.
Yeah.
But then I started to think about it for a minute. Cowboys are on bye week this week. That is what it is. But are the Cowboys such a mess right now. They have a hard schedule coming up, hard games against some pretty decent defenses. Should I think about it a little bit more? Is there long-term Adams and the Jets with all their weapons? And the Jets have a very easy schedule for the most part, except when they play the Bills.
Look, CeeDee Lamb is the best thing the Cowboys have going.
Yeah.
I would take CeeDee Lamb in a heartbeat. I mean, like, he's just that good. Yeah. I had a chance to draft him a couple times, and I have a very, very steadfast, unless I have to draft someone, no holdouts rule.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, you run the risk of, like having the first month of the season where they're not as good. But CD has kind of defeated that thing. And by the way, one of them just flew up my nose. So
save it for later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I would do it.
I agree. I'm going to do it live on the air. And this is with Jarrett Reddick from Bowling for Soup.
Okay.
He's the one that actually offered me this trade. So I'm sure some people in the league are going to bitch about it. But I'm going to do it.
So let me ask you this. Do it.
Okay.
I've been trying to trade in my league, now 20, like we're about to go on 25 years league, this one. I've been trying to trade with like a couple guys. And my goal has been, because I have Caleb Williams and DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Okay. I also have CJ Stroud and no Texans wide receivers. And I have Jalen Hurts and no Eagles wide receivers or tight end, like whatever.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get a double up for that because I often like that strategy because that player is dependent on, the quarterback. So it's always good, and it puts me – I don't like to do it heavy, but if I can, I'd like to do it. And I had a trade where Lamar Jackson for Stephon Diggs, would make that fair. Like, we're both going to have a – or
Who are you giving up?
No, I was going to give up Zay Flowers for Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
Because he has Lamar Jackson, I have C.J. Stroud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I thought that was – he's like, no, I don't want to do it.
Wow.
I'm like, come on. And then I had another one that he has A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
So I thought, he has a couple quarterbacks. I was like, well, if I gave you Jalen Hurts and you gave me this quarterback, then we could do this. And he and I are in the same spot in the league, which is in the middle. So it would help both of us maybe jump up there. So he also said no. And I tried to do this when A.J. Brown was hurt, and he even said no then. So,
and we have it in my main league. You can't get rid of the feeling like, what does that person know that I don't know? Yeah. Even though on the surface, the ones you just mentioned make perfect sense.
I mean, and I spelled this out.
Yeah.
There's nothing, and here's the thing. They don't trade with me because of this.
Yeah.
And even if I wasn't doing this show, they also wouldn't trade with me because they know I get press releases from all 32 teams in the NFL. So I don't, they're like, well, what are you after? I'm like, no, here's I'll send them, here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the release that I got. Yeah.
I'm getting that information. I mean, that's information that
everybody can get.
Yeah.
I just happen to get it first.
Like if I was in a league with Adam Schefter, I would never trade with him.
Yeah.
Because that guy knows.
Yeah.
Even Fabiano in my Scott Fish Bowl would probably never trade with him because they've got contacts that go deep into the holes. So, but anyway, So good luck.
Well, good luck this week, everybody. Make trades in your league. Don't be like other people.
Yeah.
And
even
again,
a kicker for a kicker, just to
do
pot.
it. Yes. I even offered Brandon Aubrey up as part of it to my buddy who loves kickers. And I'm like, this is the best one.
So this, I think we talked about it before. So I have Aubrey in our league. He's on a bye week. I'm not cutting him.
Yeah.
Anybody else I would cut. Fairbairn's close. He's been pretty good, and so is Boswell for Pittsburgh. But so I'm going to have to look and cut somebody else to keep Aubrey.
In the league I'm talking about, I had to put roster limits for the draft.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
yeah, I do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't take 11 wide receivers.
Yes.
I've thought about turning it off like before the trade deadline so that you could do that.
Yeah.
But also I don't want someone to like, I don't know. I haven't quite gotten there yet. But so that I've got my max wide receivers and running backs and quarterbacks. So I had a spot for what is, and I had a tight end for week, an extra tight end for weeks, and it never do. Bye-weeked it. Now the tight end is like, now that's going to be the thing. So, and my tight end's like, it's Jake Ferguson. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like great. So I have no problem. Like I really have no problem, even though I like him a lot, dropping him and picking up Dalton Schultz or whatever. Like, so, but like Dalton Schultz and him were there. Drop Dalton Schultz. I'm going to keep Ferguson. Well, no. Ferguson's on the bench. Whatever I did, I dropped it, and it's Brandon Aubrey and Tyler Bass will be my kicker this week, and then he will be cut and replaced with, an able-bodied person.
Yes.
So that's going to do it for that damn fantasy show. Please like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Super pumped. Thanks to Garrett Ross. Thanks to Rogue Media. Thanks to 365 Sports. Bye.